Hello, boyos. This is, fuck it. I never remember the name of this fucking thing. This is the spoiler for Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2, we are continuing on our phase 1 of Marvel Universe, of the MCU. We do all the shows, and when there's no shows, we do the movies. And the last movie that we watched was Iron Man 2, and it was yesterday. We watched it yesterday together. We sat on the couch, we held hands, we made out. That last part wasn't true. I wish it was. But yeah, Iron Man 2. It's a movie. I gotta level with you. I don't have a lot to say about this movie.
I
do. Okay, I'm glad, because this movie was just so
really
monotone for me. Like, there was a couple of places the acting was good, but I think the script and the story, like the overarching story, is just kind of uninteresting. It's just for me anyway.
Okay. So for me, I thought it was like night and day better than The Incredible Hulk. I thought it was so much better than that movie. Just like way more enjoyable. Like I went into this movie like I hadn't seen it in years and years. And I was like, this movie's not that good. And when I was watching, I'm like, this is kind of a fun movie. I'm kind of enjoying myself. And you know, you were saying earlier before we started recording that like you don't remember a lot of this movie. Dude, I remember so much of this movie. Like when I was watching it, I was like, dude, there's so many like iconic moments, like Natasha, like that hallway scene where she starts fighting all those dudes in the hallway, and the little rocket moment where he shoots out the rocket and he's like, is that hammer tech? Yeah, it's hammer tech. Yeah. It just doesn't work. Yeah. Like there's so many moments like that where like, where's my board? Where's my board? I need my board.
Like, what the fuck was that though? I'm gonna stop you. What the fuck? What was that bird thing? Why did he need his board?
He loved his bird, dude. Do you not love your bird?
Why did he leave him behind?
Because he had to go. He had to take care of business, dude.
He didn't even go like, my board is here. Can you get my board? Since I am dead man, can you get my board? He's just like, I want the board. And guy's like, where is your bird? And he's like, I want the bird.
Wasn't it his dad's bird though? And that's
probably
because like at the beginning of the movie, like his dad dies or whatever, and
his dad dies, yeah. But
he
also
has that bird. Isn't that his bird?
It's either his dad's bird or he brought the bird with him. Yeah. You know, and it's his bird, and he just loves the bird.
I don't know. Who doesn't love a good bird? You know?
I love a good bird. A bad bird, on the other hand, not so much.
I absolutely adore Justin Hammer in this movie. I hope they bring him back one day. Sam Rockwell, dude, he fucking killed that role. I do wish they made him a little bit more competent, because they just made him like super incompetent. Like,
he's such a pushover in the whole movie. He's such a pushover for everything, and then when he takes a stand, he loses. And it's like, okay.
Like, I'm okay with him being like a little dick weasel or whatever, but it would have been cool if like technology wise, he was like actually a formidable foe to Iron Man, and it's like, or Tony Stark, I guess. Like, because it would have been more interesting. It's like, Justin Hammer is number 2 to Tony Stark, and Tony Stark's stuff is better than Hammer's, but Hammer's is fucking good too. You know, like that would have been more interesting, I think, because like every time he does anything, it's like his shit just fails, and it's like, how does this guy even have a fucking business?
Yeah, exactly. How does he have military contracts where they're like, let's go to Justin Hammer instead of Iron Man? You know?
Yeah.
It's weird.
I think the main thing about this movie, this seems like a stark contrast to the first 2 movies. And the reason I say that is because like the first 2 movies feel like very self-contained movies, like Iron Man and Hulk. They feel like they're their own things, like they're just kind of doing their own thing. This really felt like we're setting shit up, you know, like we're getting the ball rolling. We're introducing Natasha. Sam Jackson's in this joint, you know. We've got Coulson back, and he's going to do something in New Mexico. I wonder what that could be. and
Yeah.
we get the Iron Man shield, and like,
Yep.
or not the Iron Man shield, the Captain America shield.
Captain
Like they're really
America
starting
shield.
to setting things up. And here's an interesting thing before you jump in there. This movie between Incredible Hulk and Iron Man 2, there's a 2-year gap there. There wasn't an MCU movie for 2 years between these movies.
Wow.
And that's why I think this movie has such a stark contrast. This feels like the legitimate beginning of the MCU versus Iron Man. Like,
Yep.
this feels like, okay, now we're setting shit up. We're setting up a universe here. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I think that's exactly the thing, is that they were like, they did Iron Man, they did the Incredible Hulk, and they're like, wait a minute, we could make this more than just Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk. You know, we could do the whole thing, which is, I don't remember the phrase that you use, but they kind of jumped the shark is the phrase that you use. They jumped the shark with how many people they introduce in this,
You think so?
how many like ideas they introduce, because now it's like in the MCU, it's like, oh, there's this one character that everybody thinks is going to be in this movie, and then we tease him right at the end. We just give him a tease. Where this one's like, Natasha's in it. We've never seen Natasha and the Black Widow in this. Nick Fury's in it. Like, Nick Fury only shows up at the end credits of one movie. Then we get the shield and the hammer. Like, and it's just like, that's a lot of shit that they're just like, let's just throw everything out and just see what sticks. And apparently everything sticked. Everybody's like, oh my God, Thor.
Well, I felt like Iron Man and Hulk were like, let's just throw shit in there and see what sticks. This one felt like, this shit's sticking. This is what we're doing. You know, like,
Right.
we are making Captain America, we're making Thor, and this all leads to Avengers. Like,
Right.
it felt like at this point they're like, this is the plan. We're making 3 movies regardless of what happens. Like, this is happening.
Right. And that's kind of what it feels like too, is just like, this is already happening, and all of them are in production right now. Like, instead of, you'd release Iron Man 2 and then it's like, oh, and there's Cap's shield, and then the next movie's Cap, and here's Thor's hammer, and the
next one's Thor, actually, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're right. The next one's Thor, which I also haven't seen. I haven't seen a lot of these Phase 1 fucking movies.
Yeah.
I've seen Thor 2. I have not seen Thor 1. So,
yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to keep going like further down. Because I will say, like, these Phase 1 movies, besides Iron Man, really feel like they haven't quite got their footing yet. Like, they haven't. I won't say this is an amazing movie, but I do think it's a pretty fun movie. Like, I thought the whole toxicity thing, where he's dealing with the toxicity in his blood,
that is cool.
Like, I think that's an interesting thing, and it's interesting to salutations, fellow Marvel lovers. I appreciate that. I think that's an interesting way to handle his, like, in the comic books, there's a whole series of comics about him dealing with his alcoholism, right? And this is a good way of doing that, but, like, let's not make him an alcoholic. Let's, like, have him have cancer or whatever instead.
Right.
I don't know. I like it. I think it's fun. That the stuff with him and War Machine.
And they introduce War Machine in this one too.
Yeah,
there's just so many introductions into this, and it's just so, it happens like bam, 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 bam. And we don't see those characters for a long time.
That's true. It is kind of weird. I mean, we'll get to it when we get to Avengers. It's like, why isn't War Machine there? But
right, yeah.
Like, why isn't he part of the lineup? But whatever.
Because he's working for the military instead of the Avengers.
I guess. But, like, isn't Shield part of the military? I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll get there, I guess. But the Morocco scene where he's like, I'm gonna race. That's me. I'm the race car guy. And, like, I don't know. I feel like this movie does a really good job of, like, showing you more of Tony Stark, and it builds the relationship between him and Pepper pretty well, I thought. And like, I love this scene where he gets the strawberries and he's like, here you go. And she's like, I'm allergic to one thing, and it's strawberries. He's like, I knew there was some correlation there.
Yeah, that's progress, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I said, the characters in this movie are really good. They're really well done. Like, Black Widow has got a great like part.
Sorry.
A great well, the fan service in this movie is awesome. But there's all the characters are really well written. Maybe aside from Bort guy, Whiplash.
Yeah.
Maybe aside from him, but everybody else is pretty on point.
Because I do feel like this movie suffers from what a lot of these Marvel movies suffer from, which is just the third act turns into, what if Iron Man fights Iron Man?
Yeah.
You know? It felt exactly like Iron Man 1, where, you got the Tony, that guy, he's like, oh, Tony.
Well, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's like literally the same
He's
thing.
in the Ironmonger suit, and then we've got Whiplash in the same fucking suit, only he has whips this time. But I will say that scene is like 2 seconds long, and he just grabs the dudes, and they're just like, what if we just shoot each other, and then it's over. But I like that chase scene where he's getting chased down, and I don't know.
All these civilians are dying.
Oh, there's so many dead civilians. Yeah.
Because there's so many explosions in cars and parking lots, and it's like, man, that guy was just like getting ready to go home, and these fucking Iron Man suits just come out and blow him up. It's like, man, these poor saps.
Yeah. I don't quite understand Whiplash's motivation. Like, I guess Howard Stark killed his dad or something. I don't quite understand.
Well, they were working together, right? And then
but then they exiled him. I don't know.
Something, I don't remember. Something happened, and that's how he got the blueprints, I guess, for the arc reactor.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know exactly his motive. He's like, you killed my father. My family is, your family is bad. My family is good, and I'm gonna avenge my family because your family bad. And everybody's dead in your family that was even responsible. So I'm going after you instead. And it's like, what? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Your family did bad things, so I'm going to hurt you. Like, what?
Yeah. He is like the worst part of the movie, but I don't want to even say he's the worst part of the movie, because I like Mickey Rourke's portrayal of him. I think he's like a fun character, and I like the scene where he's on the phone and the two dudes are just hanging in the background, and it's just like, dude, this guy's fucking he's a bad guy, I like that. He's a bad dude.
He took his board.
He's bored. I don't know. I like it. I thought it was good. It's not amazing. Should we pull out the list, or do you have more to say about it?
Other than that, the ending was very Iron Man 1, but with more suits. And I'm thinking of Iron Man 3, because I've seen Iron Man 3, and the ending is just Iron Man 1, but with even more suits. And it's like, is that the only villains in Iron Man? Is these fucking Iron Man suits? He has nobody else to fight?
So Boba Flex is in the chat, and he's like, so is Iron Man 2 your all's favorite Marvel movie, or are you just talking about it? So we're currently in the process of watching every Marvel movie, and we have now done one of these kind of spoiler casts for each one of the Marvel movies up to this point, as well as Loki, WandaVision, Black Widow, and Falcon Winter Soldier. So if you want to check any of that out, go to the YouTube channel. So there you go. Well, Nick's pulling up our ranking list here.
All right, here we go. So where would you think this goes? Because I think I have an idea of where you think, but since I put Loki at the top and you would rather have Iron Man at the top, well, you'd rather have WandaVision at the top, but where would you think this goes?
Okay, so let's run down our list real quick here.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Right now, we've got Loki at number 1. We've got Iron Man at number 2. WandaVision at number 3. Black Widow at number 4, Falcon Winter Soldier at number 5, and Incredible Hulk at number 6.
Man,
Me,
I still think we should have two different lists because I would put Falcon and Winter Soldier above Black Widow, but
I think it's fine. It's fine.
all right, all right.
It ain't that serious, dog.
All right.
So I think personally, this goes right above Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. I'm thinking that too. We'll do it. We'll do it there.
Because as much as I do like this movie, because I think it's a fun movie, it doesn't hold a candle to any of the things above it. Like it's nowhere near as good as Iron Man 1, and the shows have all been really good. I think Black Widow's fucking good too. So, but yeah. I do think Hulk is a pretty bad movie, and I will say Iron Man 2. You said it last night when we watched it. It is kind of a boring movie.
Yeah, I mean the story is just kind of. There's a lot of things that it's just like why would they do that? Like he just seems like he's going on a tirade of just like I'm dying, so fuck everybody, fuck everything.
That is kind of his thing. Like, he is a narcissist though.
Yeah, but I wish they kind of portrayed that a little bit more.
Yeah,
because he seems like he knows what he's doing in Iron Man 1. You know, he's like, oh, I got a new lease on life. I'm gonna, help people out. And on this one, he's like, well, I saved the world, and I'm dying, so fuck all my shit, right? I'm just gonna destroy everything that I've built up.
There's also like the weird like fight scene between him and War Machine in his mansion.
Yeah. Yeah,
just sort of
during a party.
I like the scene like where Iron Man is being dumb and like careless with his suit, but then the fight scene seems like it seemed a little too far for me. Like,
but could you imagine being one level 1, layer 1, being invited to a party that Iron Man is hosting would be the coolest fucking party ever. It would be the absolute coolest party. And then 2, getting to watch 2 Iron Mans fucking fight is also really fucking cool. Like, and you're just like at a party and Tony Stark just starts blowing up watermelons and champagne and glasses everywhere. It's like, all right, I should probably leave because shit's going crazy. Iron Man's lost his mind. He's drunk. I don't want to get shot with a beam. I'm going to start walking home. And then you hear like crash and then you see another Iron Man come in. And you're like, well,
what the fuck is
wait
going
a minute.
on here?
This is kind of cool. I'll stay behind something and watch this,
Yeah. It was also
I really like that scene, honestly. But
I like the scene. I just think it's weird that they like fought so hard, Like, take it easy, boys, Yeah.
Yeah, and
talk it out, man.
And another thing is like, how does everybody have access to his garage? Everybody in this movie, not a single person like buzzes his garage. Like his co-CEO, what's his face? The guy who like dies in the first one, Obadiah. Yeah, he doesn't have access to go down there, right? At least we don't see him like go down there, and
yeah, I don't know.
We never see him in the
his
garage,
assistant does. That makes sense. Like, and like him and Pepper are kind of like
yeah,
they're a thing, like,
and like Rhodey kind of makes sense, I guess.
Yeah,
but then you see like Agent Carlson come down, and he's Coulson, just like Coulson, and he like puts his hand, and it's like he's registered in the system already. Just like, yeah, you can come down. Well, you hardly say any words to me, but you can come down, I guess. Like, this is not a very private place.
I am under the impression that Rhodey has worn the suit before, and like, I feel like he's like, here, like, try it out, because I feel like he's like, if anyone's gonna take over as Iron Man, it should be Rhodey.
Right.
And so like that makes sense to me. And that also makes sense to me why he like knows how to use the suit and why he has access to it.
That's exactly, yeah. If he knows, because you see in like Iron Man 1, um,
Next
Tony
time,
just
baby.
can't really, well, he can't really use the suit. Like in the first trial, he like does a flip and
Yeah.
like hits the ceiling and gets put out on fire or whatever. But like Rhodey has like no problem like levitating, and like he's a little wobbly, you can tell, but it's like he's definitely been practicing, because I don't know
Yeah.
if somebody can just get in the suit, let alone like somebody of a different size. So who knows, maybe Iron Man actually made it for him. You
I
know?
also think it's a little careless to like have a party where you have your Iron Man suits downstairs. Like maybe
Yeah.
have the party somewhere else. You know?
Yeah.
Not above your lab. You know?
Yeah, like rent out a place.
You
not
probably
your
want to
house.
like have a secret lab. You know, you probably don't want people like Batman. You don't want people to know where your lab is. You know?
Right. Well, and that we see that in Iron Man 3 when we get to it, that people find his shit.
Oh yeah.
But like
That house
like
gets fucked up constantly.
all the like he's always breaking his shit.
It's always blowing
Like,
up, having fights in there. Gets blown up in the third one. Like
I feel like he just needs a party space where he can have everybody go.
yeah,
Like Avengers
rich enough
Tower,
for
but
that.
like, you know, like he's just like, here's a villa I've rented out or bought, and everybody goes to a party here. Like this is Iron Man's throwing a party at the Villa Cadenza or whatever, you know? And it's like, yeah, okay, cool. Instead of inviting strangers and I don't know, colleagues to your house where all of your shit is, and then getting wasted, blackout drunk, and then destroying your own house.
I think this movie does have the coolest suit up moment in any of these movies, though.
I don't know.
Where he gets the suitcase and he like
And then he like pushes it on the ground.
and
Yeah,
like goes around him. I think that's so cool.
I think that one's okay. I think
I think the watch one is cooler.
I think the one where he like has the bracelets
Yeah.
and he does like that, and it like as he's falling, that's a cool one. And then he
That's
like
pretty cool.
barely misses the ground in Avengers. That one's probably my favorite one.
Oh, I feel like I haven't said enough about Justin Hammer real quickly here. He's wonderful. When he comes out and does his little dance at the expo, it's fucking amazing. He's fucking amazing. And they never brought him back. They should bring him back. He's fucking amazing.
Another thing about the Justin Hammer is like at Monaco, he's like talking to Tony like, hey, if I get one of my projects to work, can I get a spot at the expo? And Tony's like, yeah, if one of your projects worked, I'll give you a spot at the expo. And he's like, all right, cool. But then we never get like a follow up of it. So that just kind of tells me that like,
because like Tony's not in charge anymore. So he probably did go to Pepper or whatever.
he goes to Pepper and Pepper goes, fine, you can be in the expo or something. Like, and she just folds like that, even though Tony's just like,
Why wouldn't she though? Like there's
she just seemed,
there's
well,
no
she
reason
seems
to like hate
smart,
Hammer,
though.
you know?
Right. She seems smart though, which is like,
They don't
look,
know.
okay,
though. Like,
show me your shit. Like, what are you showing off? And I think Pepper would be like, you're making another Iron Man suit. Yeah, no, you shouldn't. Like, does it work? Show me that it works. You know,
but it's also like backed by the government, and he probably did show him that it worked, and then Ivan Ooze or whatever the fuck his name is took over.
Ivan Ooze.
Yeah,
Damn,
I
that's
don't
a
know.
pull.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought it was a fun movie. I think it sets up his character really well, and it sets up the rest of the universe really well. This is the last movie that Jon Favreau directs, because apparently he had a very horrible experience directing this movie. Like the whole
he wanted
movie.
to take it one direction. They told him to stay.
Well, and apparently it was very rushed too, and they're like, you have to put all this stuff in here, like the Thor stuff, and you have to put in Sam Jackson. I'm sure was added, and Natasha was probably added too.
Yeah.
Although he did work with Scarlett Johansson in his next movie, so
Yeah. Do you think they fuck?
maybe.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe.
Let's start the rumor here.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's a fine movie. I was kind of bored at spots. I think the best moment in the movie is when like the droid is like gonna shoot the little kid, and Iron Man comes over and shoots it first, and he's like, "Nice shot, kid," and takes off. That was so cute.
So apparently Tom Holland has said that was him.
Was it actually like Tom Holland the actor, or it's supposed
He says
to be
it
like
was,
Spider-Man?
and then someone asked Bob Iger, and they're like, or Kevin Feige, and he's like, I don't know. It might have been.
It may have been. Like the way when you told me that, I'm like, is it like that? That would be cool if it's like Spider-Man as a young kid.
It's a cool like headcanon thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that as like Spider-Man, just like, he's going to the Tony Stark Expo.
He'd be at the expo. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's Iron Man, and he's a little kid.
Yeah. He loves Iron Man, and then that like makes it cooler in the later movies where he's like actually being mentored by Iron Man, and
yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, that's
probably wasn't actually Tom Holland, but
no, I don't think it actually was. But who knows? Who fucking knows?
We can live in that world. We can pretend. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter who it was because he didn't have a face, so it can be literally anybody on the planet. That's true. That was me. I was cast as that extra.
It's actually me.
Oh shit, that's weird. I am in the MC universe. Yeah. Do you have anything else before we wrap it up?
Yeah. I am so curious to see if Thor is above or below Incredible Hulk. We're gonna find out next week.
I have not seen it.
Me either. Not well.
Really?
I've seen it. I just haven't seen it since theaters, 10 years ago. So
right.
I'm curious. Maybe we'll go into it and we'll watch it and we'll be like, that was actually pretty fucking good.
I have a feeling it's gonna be that situation because I've only heard bad things about it. But when you hear bad things, you're like, okay, well, I'm expecting the worst, and then you see it and you're like, oh, it's not that bad. It was actually kind of enjoyable, I'm expecting that sort of situation for sure.
Yeah. Well,
so I'm kind of expecting it to fall above Iron Man 2 for me, but I don't know.
I feel like it's definitely going to land there. The bigger question is it above Incredible Hulk or not? Watch it be better than Loki. We'll see.
I don't think so, man. Loki was so good.
I think the top three there, it's going to be hard to beat those top three for a while.
Mm-hmm. Until we get into
phase
later ship. Phase 3 even, I think.
Yeah. I really like Winter Soldier. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. I'm excited. Right. I'm excited to get there, yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad we got this ranking thing. All right. That's it. You guys take care. Stay tuned for next week. We'll be watching.
Oops.
Oh. Jake will disappear. But also, we're going to be watching Thor, the first Thor. And that'll be next.
We're also maybe going to do a thing for Suicide Squad.
True. I'm going to go watch it. So.
I bought my tickets for Friday, so.
Okay. Yeah, so we may do it, we may not. It just kind of depends.
Yeah, we may do 2 Spoilercast next week. We'll see.
Yeah, we're definitely doing Thor though. So
yeah,
keep an eye out. Wednesday on YouTube, it'll be up. Monday on Twitch at about 4:30
after the Loner Gamecast.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, subscribing, doing all that bullshit. We're glad you came.
I'm gonna kill.
Nice. Later.